Research indicates that prenuptial agreements are no longer just for the ultra-wealthy, but are increasingly common among couples of all financial backgrounds. This trend is particularly prominent among high earners and individuals with significant assets prior to entering a relationship. Women, in particular, are seeking to protect their assets, including businesses they have built, in the event of a divorce. Prenups can define how assets will be divided, ensuring that the hard-earned wealth and business interests remain intact. They can also establish boundaries between marital and individual property, offering control over business decisions and ownership shares in the event of a divorce.
If you have a prenup or if you have some sort of contract, you're already going into the relationship with an expiration date. You're thinking, I'm gonna break up with you.
Ladies, your strongest weapon is your intuition. If somebody's handing you a contract on day one saying, if it don't work, your ass is out the door, your ass needs to be out the door on day one!
So a bit of context here. This woman here has been divorced 2 times in her life, and she is giving relationship advice to young women that they should just listen to their intuition, basically act in their feelings and break their relationships.
I agree. If you go into it with the idea that it's going to end, let me tell you something. I don't know a single person that has a prenup that ain't had to use it. She said, you're preparing for failure. It's like having a plan B.
Yeah, it's your insurance policy.
See, people kill me with that. A plan B is...
Men get such a bad rap for cheating, but the thing is that women cheat just as much, they just hide it better. For example, I've known so many people in my past who they act like the most loyal little girlfriends in town, and, you know, their boyfriend does one bad thing and they're just bitching about it left, right, and center. But as soon as they go to a city like Vegas, you wouldn't even know they had a boyfriend. That's fact.
Just know, gentlemen, if your woman or wife goes to Vegas after an argument with you, keep in mind she's cheating on you. She's definitely got a boyfriend or 2 over there.
My man makes $25,000 to $30,000 a month, so I'm satisfied with that.
For real? What does he do?
He's a car sales manager.
He's got bank.
God forbid, if you broke up now, would you date a man who makes $2,500?
Her lifestyle, she can't switch like that.
If he had a really good heart and could take care of me and my daughter, but me and my man are not breaking up. So
how much you say your ring was?
My ring was $7,000. I can't have that around here. This is $200,000.
If he cheats on you,
I will take everything from him.
Oh, what if he gave you a prenup?
I won't sign it. I'll rip it in front of him.
That man needs to make her sign a prenup ASAP. She sounds drunk, and her man isn't even with her while she's outside partying. She said she would take everything from that man, but did she contribute to his success? She even said she would rip the prenup. What else does her man needs to hear?
I found out my wife just left her corporate job for a cashier job. She's like, she wants to get out of the payments she's doing.
Payments of what?
Child support, ma'am.
Is there a reason why you're not paying to support this child?
I left my job, and I did do it intentionally.
Wait a minute. You intentionally left your job?
Yes, ma'am, I did.
How much did you make at your last job?
Annually, $70,000. Now I work at a convenience store.
How much are you making now?
$30,000 a year.
What's the qualification to work at that job?
You just need a high school diploma.
High school diploma?
Yes,
and you have a master's degree. I'm not about to play with you. Ma'am, I'm going to make you pay child support. $899.60 is going to be your monthly child support obligation that you're going to pay each month to this man.
This woman quit her job because she didn't want to pay for her own child. That's crazy. And she wants the man that's making less than her to pay for child support. Guess what? Now she has to get another job because her current job won't be enough. Should have thought ahead.
And used to have to do a lot less and get a very high value woman. Now we live in this moment where everyone's kind of and you have to work harder to get a woman that doesn't have any self-respect or any value. Just kind of the complete disintegration of when I look at, what my grandmother looked like in pictures, how classy and how beautiful and how much I wanted to be like her. And now I look at, women today and I just think, man, I feel bad for guys.
That is the complete truth. You are working harder to get a modern woman today, which many refers to as a 304. But 403 makes more sense to me. Nonetheless, be careful who you choose to be your partner. It could drive you crazy like this.
And I'm single. I'm just looking for somebody who likes to have fun and is a fun-loving type gal. Brunettes are something, and so are redheads or blondes. That's what I really want is someone who'll call me and will love me, because everyone I know is married, and I don't know anybody or anything, and it's just not right because I deserve love like anybody else. I don't need to rummage through that dumpster for a playboy.
I have just reached a new level of crazy because I just like I said, I did not make, he did it out of his own free will, but my boyfriend, my fiance, because we just got engaged, just signed a legal document, and we got it notarized that if he cheats on me, he has to pay my bills. We did. We just got a legal document signed, and actually got it notarized, like legal AF, that if he cheats on me, he's screwed. I'm so smart or crazy, I don't know.
I'm not really sure what possessed him to sign something like that, but that's his choice. But I wonder what benefits he gets when she's caught cheating. This just seems like a one-way contract that only benefits her if he slips up.
If there is a prenup, I'm not gonna marry you.
Well then, goodbye.
She's
screaming and yelling and can't have a normal conversation. And I can't talk to her, and that's a problem. Yes, I love her, but I've had fears about her temper since I've met her. Since I met her in person.
Are you talking about me? Pack up your things. Get out of here. Get out of here, Jimmy.
You know, if you truly love me, you would listen to my proposal. You didn't even give me
Okay, what is the proposal?
My proposal. And I even write protection for Jasmine. That's the headline. If I was the person that initiates a divorce, you would be giving the highest amount of financial protection. Do you understand that?
What's going on with women these days? We used to be a lot happier than men, and now we're not. What happened?
What you've found is that over the past 20 years or so, women have converged downward to the unhappiness levels of men. And at first I thought, great, men are getting happier. Women are getting unhappier. That's what we find. And they're getting unhappier very quickly. And so there's a lot of different theories of it. You find that there's a lot less family formation going on. There's a lot less marriage. You find that men and women are diverging politically really, really quickly. You find that women are getting much more politically progressive and men are getting more conservative. And so the result of it is that, especially in a culture where people think that the most important thing for making a romantic match is voting for the same party idiotically, social media is especially targeted at young women. It's creating a whole lot of misery with the social comparison, with political hatred, with the sense of loneliness that's crawling out of people's smartphones. And all these things together are creating an epidemic of unhappiness among women, especially young women.
Despite the benefits, some women may feel uncomfortable discussing prenuptial agreements due to societal expectations and cultural norms. The fear of judgment or upsetting the relationship can prevent open conversations about financial planning. For some women, the romantic view of marriage and optimism about the relationship may hinder discussions about prenups. This optimism bias can lead to underestimating the potential financial risks of divorce, especially when there is a significant wealth disparity between partners.
I don't think I want to sign this prenup. It's the day before the wedding. Maybe I should talk to a lawyer first. No way. If you don't sign this prenup, I'm canceling the wedding. And your whole family is going to lose money on their plane tickets and their hotel rooms. Okay, I'll sign.
Later.
I want a divorce. You want a divorce? Fine, you get nothing. I've got a prenup. But I didn't even want to sign that. You forced me and pressured me, threatening to cancel our wedding. If this prenup was done under duress, it is invalid.
This is a skit, but some women actually get away with it, playing the duress card. Another reason why men won't get married, I guess.
Body count does not matter at all, and I'm going to give you a very specific reason why you should be a slut. In college, I was in a communications class, and via anonymous clicker, they asked us to guess what the average amount of people a college student hooks up with a year is. Then they asked us to say how many people we had hooked up with that year. People assumed the number that people had hooked up with was around 7 or 8 on average. Actual number of people hooked up with was 2 people. Our communications professor told us this to show perception is very different than reality. So the moral of the story is to be a slut because everyone assumes you're being one anyway. Being a slut is fun, it's flirty, it's trendy, it's cool, and it's slutty. All positive words. And my number was 10, which means I won because mine was the highest. That just proves sluts rule the world. And if you don't believe me, well, I don't know you, so bye, dead to me. Have fun living your uncool, unslutty life. Also, being a slut is a mindset, so even if you don't want to hook up with people, you can still be a slut. I don't know how to end this video, so bye.
I actually thought this woman was joking, but I quickly realized she's for the streets, and she proudly announced that to the world, which decreases her chances of marriage even more.
High five. You married?
Yes.
You're cheating on your husband?
Yeah, Vegas. It's Vegas, baby.
So what?
We're both married.
Are you cheating on your husband in Vegas?
Absolutely not.
Why are you lying to me? Just her.
Maybe.
Is she?
She's cheating on her husband in Vegas.
Wow.
Hey babe, people in my comments are saying I should sign a prenup with you now. Just to make sure.
It's not a prenup, it'd be a postnump.
Do you want me to sign one?
No.
Are you sure? I'm not gonna leave you and take all your money and children?
Pretty sure.
Pretty sure.
You can never predict the future. That's why people get them. But this woman right here says these things. Gets thrown out all the time. Listen.
I've also heard that prenups can get practically thrown out of court. Is that true?
Yeah. So a lot of people's prenups get thrown out in court because you either had them sign it under duress, which happens the most.
What does that mean though?
Under duress means under pressure. So the wedding's today, here's the paperwork, we ain't getting married. That's duress. You can't do it.
But how do they prove that in court if they got married 5, 8, 10, 20 years before that?
Because you signed the date on it. And you know what the date of the marriage is.
Okay.
And so those sorts of things get you thrown out. But the biggest reason that the prenup get thrown out is because you didn't disclose all your assets.
Really?
Yeah.
So I didn't know that.
It's so easy to especially if you're trying to move assets into other entities and that sort of thing. So yeah. So that's why I tell people, get your affairs in order before you get engaged. Because if you do that, you don't have to disclose. It's just no longer on the table. But if you have assets in your name, you get engaged and you're in contemplation of marriage, you now have to disclose what you have before you can move it into a trust. Or it would be like you're hiding the assets.
Really? See, I didn't know that.
The thing is, I agree with this, but I think a lot of men in these comments are going to get mad if I say that if a man tries to pressure a woman into a prenup that does not suit her and she does not want to marry him, he's going to call her a gold digger and a which is exactly what I was trying to say in the original video, which is that if you try to coerce your partner into a prenup that does not serve them and only serves you, you are financially abusing them and you are a misogynist. Prenups should protect both parties equally, and both parties should have an attorney to look over the prenup. In fact, courts will throw out a prenup if it is not looked over by attorneys on both sides. And it is common practice for the wealthier party, the richer party, to pay for both attorneys. If you think a woman is a whore for wanting to protect herself, you are 12 years old and you should not be getting married.
Additionally, concerns about fairness and balancing financial security with partner expectations or cultural standards can create challenges in negotiating a prenuptial agreement. The fear of negatively impacting the relationship or being perceived as overly cautious can also deter women from pursuing prenups, despite the potential benefits in safeguarding financial interests. Nevertheless, prenups can offer financial certainty and protection, especially for women who have worked hard to build wealth or businesses over time. By openly discussing financial matters early in the relationship, couples can address concerns and establish a foundation of trust and transparency. Prenups can provide assurance for women looking to preserve their assets for their children or future financial stability.
Gentlemen, don't get married in the West, but if you have to get a prenup.
Absolutely not. Okay, we're not doing that. We're not starting off our marriage with intentions of having a divorce. Our marriage will be rooted in Christ alone, and therefore, there's no such thing as divorce. That's not an option. We will work it out forever. We will give each other grace and love. He will love me like Christ loves the church, and I will submit to his authority and be the best helpmate that I can possibly be. Talk about a prenup. No. Never. Ever.
Right. Subscribe for more content like this.
I don't mind signing a prenup as long as it has an infidelity clause. If you get caught cheating, I get whatever the I want. The only thing I'm asking by giving you my everything is for you to reciprocate that. But in the same token, if you find out I'm cheating on you, you don't owe me. I'm just at a point in my life where monogamy is really important to me. I'm a bad and I've never been turned down. So if I'm willing to give you my everything, the least you can do is give me your everything.
Wait, you put that in perspective so any man be like, all right, I gotta sign this. She just better have that freaking Vanessa Del Rio.
Listen, come on. You want to come to this water park or not, baby?
Better have that Donny Park. That great adventure.
An infidelity clause for the both of them, I hope. These women always mention they get whatever they want, but fail to mention what the man gets. It goes both ways. These prenups are designed to protect both spouses. Use it well.
I would never in a million years teach my girls that they have to grow up to be reliant on a man, as you can well imagine. I would never teach my son that he should be attracted.
But Tracy, you're the same one. You're the same one who bragged that she's so strong and so tough and doesn't need a man's money. Yet you're taking alimony.
Gotcha. I have 3 children. Okay, Mark. You know what?
So, but you don't need a man.
This woman spoke so confidentially about not needing a man's money, but yet she's taking a man's money thanks to alimony.
Evan actually asked me for a prenup before we got married, and I told him I'm not doing that because I would never take anything from you. And I didn't. I mean, he pays me child support, but I didn't take a dime from him otherwise, nor he didn't take any of my money either. I understand why they exist, but I do also understand what you're saying. The laws are the laws.
Yeah.
We used a mediator, so you also can make choices.
It is not about preparing for failure, but rather acknowledging the practical aspects of marriage and taking steps to protect financial well-being without compromising the emotional aspects of the relationship. Ultimately, signing a prenuptial agreement is a proactive and thoughtful approach to managing the legal and financial complexities of marriage. It allows couples to have meaningful conversations about expectations, responsibilities, and financial plans, enhancing their understanding of each other's values and priorities. By addressing financial matters up front, couples can strengthen their relationship and navigate potential conflicts more effectively, reducing misunderstandings and resentment down the line. Instead of signaling doubt, a prenup demonstrates a comprehensive understanding of marriage as a multifaceted institution that encompasses love, partnership, and financial interdependence. In conclusion, prenuptial agreements serve as a tool for couples to navigate the practical aspects of marriage while honoring the emotional commitment and partnership at its core. By approaching financial planning with transparency and consideration, couples can establish a solid foundation for a relationship that flourishes on both emotional and financial fronts, safeguarding their individual prosperity and independence while nurturing their bond. And that wraps up today's episode of Manosphere Daily. If you enjoyed the content, give it a like. Be sure to subscribe and hit the notification bell so you're notified as soon as a new video is out. Share your thoughts in the comments below. See you all tomorrow.